It's been a while since I did a UFC video. The UFC just has not had the drawing power, the pull, the interest has just been waning. And look, the pay-per-view sales from the last year apparently mirror that. It's not been a good year for the UFC. In fact, I think that this has been, the worst year for the UFC, for 20 odd years. In terms of just general interest and excitement for the diehard fans, it's been dry, man. And I think UFC 314 is one that Dana White will be so grateful for. They really needed something. You had Paddy Pimblett realize the potential that we've seen glimpses of here and there, and we've always known that he had, ability on the microphone to make people interested in him. But he fulfilled all of that potential in this event. And then you also had Volkanovski, a hero to a lot of UFC fans who looked like he was pretty much done and dusted at that level, come back, reclaim his belt. It was just great for the storylines. And as much as Volk won a title and it's so special to do it at his age, Paddy is the real story here. We always knew he had star quality on the microphone, but there was slight doubts there about his fighting ability. Not necessarily like, is he a good fighter, but can he be the very, very best? We're looking at his stand-up. We're thinking, is this chin in the air? Could he be more fluid? His ground game has always been lethal. But that is a lot of distance for him to make up when you're talking about the very, very top guys in the lightweight division. He had that one decision win that everyone disputed, and then he was wanting a performance bonus for it, and people were like, performance bonus? In order to get better, you have to humble yourself and actually realize what you need to work on in order to do it. And that was where people were like, is he even going to be able to do that if he thinks that's a performance bonus level fight? But you know what? He fucking has, he really fucking has, big time. And I'm delighted for him because he went through a really bad spell where a lot of people went from loving him to hating him. I know how that feels, right? It's not fucking easy, but he's clearly been putting the work in because this was without doubt the best performance of Paddy Pimblett's fucking career. And you know what I can tell you? The fans, we were unsure at times, we maybe had our doubts. Paddy never did. I met Paddy before he was signed by the UFC, and the level of self-belief and confidence that he was going all the way, he was like, I'm going to be massive, mate. You just trust me on this. And when he went in the cage with Chandler, look, we know Michael Chandler. We know he's a ball and muscle who's just going to fucking run at you and throw punches. And he's not the most, savvy fighter, technically, gifted. He actually isn't technically, he is quite terrible at times, but he has some attributes that are good. He just doesn't know how to fucking use them properly sometimes. And that's what really impressed me about Paddy here, because Paddy used every advantage he had in this fight. He was the taller man, he had the longer limbs, and he made use of that. Immediately, Paddy was firing the kicks out there, using those long legs, and his jab was really decent as well, and he kept this fight at his range. Now, a lot of people try and do that with Chandler, but Chandler will just rush in, fucking throw balls to the wall, and sometimes he fucking hurts people doing that. Sometimes he gets hurt. He didn't really do that a lot in this fight at all. It might be the first fight where I thought, you actually look a bit unsure whether or not you can fuck with him here. And that is the biggest compliment we can pay to Paddy, because Chandler doesn't really fucking fear anyone. There's one thing I'll never criticize about fucking Chandler. He's as brave as they come. But in this fight, I think the belief that he was going to win was taken from him early on, because I think he thought he was going to be a level above Paddy on the striking. And look, Paddy's still got a little bit of room to improve on the striking, but his striking has improved a lot. And I think that caught him off guard big time. Chandler was just letting Paddy go first, time and time again. And I'm thinking, this is mad. And then Chandler gets a takedown, and you're thinking, all right, maybe he might start going to work on him a bit. Chandler couldn't do nothing with Paddy. When they locked up, Paddy was too technical with him, too strong, and just got up easily. There was a moment where Chandler landed a nice counter right as Paddy threw the calf kick, which he'd been throwing quite regularly earlier in the first round, and you're looking at it and you go, maybe that's a way that you can catch Paddy here. He just stopped doing it. And I'm glad, because I wanted Paddy to win, but it was just the fight IQ of Michael Chandler is really a thing of beauty. Chandler goes back to his corner after the first round, and his coach is going, mate, what the fuck are you doing? You're standing right in front of him. You're going in straight lines, back and forward. Use lateral movement, come in at angles, keep them guessing as to where you're going to fucking enter in from. We've been training this, he even said. And Chandler just didn't listen to any of that, let's be honest. He just did the same again in round 2, going straight line, straight forward. And you know what? I want to give Paddy some more credit for a stand-up, because as he's on the back foot, as he's moving backwards, he is throwing, as Chandler is trying to close the distance with those long arms. In the UFC, a lot of fighters on stand-up, it's, I defend and I attack, I defend. They don't do, moving backwards while throwing punches. That's quite a high-level thing. And as much as some of Paddy's, stand-up is still not refined, it was fucking great, that. And he was hurting Chandler as he was trying to close the distance, and it just broke his spirit, man. And that's really something to say, because it's one thing to see Michael Chandler get, out IQ'd or technically outfought, but he was getting broken mentally in there, just piece by piece. At the end of the second round, Chandler went for a takedown. Paddy ends up on top. That really just summed up the way the fight was going. Like, Chandler was getting nothing. If the fight had gone on longer in the second round, he had more time, we may have seen Paddy finish it then. But he finished it in the next round. And in between rounds 2 and 3, Chandler was complaining to his coaches, like, he's too far away. And it was like, because you're not entering intelligently, though. Like, you have to feign, set up the shot, then go. Like, you have to keep Paddy guessing just enough for you to make that entry in. And also, when you do enter, don't enter face first like this. I've never known a fighter put his fucking chin on a plate more when he enters the pocket. It's fucking mind-blowing. And actually, he paid the price for that, because Paddy lands a massive knee on him at the start of the third, which really was the beginning of the end. You could see Chandler didn't really want to be there at that point. I'd give him credit. The guy's got balls, man. He stays fighting. He doesn't give up. There was times where you thought, you'd just take the submission, mate, and get this over with. But he still stayed fighting. Paddy chased him around after landing the knee. And you're thinking, this is your opportunity for Chandler. Like, the only time I ever see Chandler have success in fights, really, is when he's in the pocket, someone's swinging, he's swinging, and he manages to land one on them. Like, this is your opportunity to counter punch in the pocket with Paddy, because he's not keeping you at distance. Now he's really trying to close the distance on you. And Paddy landed like 3 shots, and I don't even know if Chandler even landed one. It reminded me of Tony Ferguson a bit, when Ferguson was like still trying, but just not with any real belief. Paddy then takes him down, beats the living shit out of him. It was the most dominant victory I think anyone's had over Michael Chandler, which is the biggest credit I can give to Paddy. And look, a lot of people will say that's because Chandler isn't what he was, yada, yada, yada. But was Michael Chandler ever the smartest, most intelligent fighter? Like, has he just gone to shit overnight? Or is he being found out technically? Should we not give more credit to Paddy on how Paddy made use of all of his advantages and actually didn't even let Chandler get off in this fight? Like, Chandler's been beaten before, but he's always had bits of success even against the top level guys. He had no success for Paddy. Paddy looked like fucking John Jones in there. And mentally, this fight does a lot for both fighters. I mean, for Paddy now, this is vindication. I told yous all, I knew how good I was. All the hard work's paying off. I know I'm doing the right things in training. And it puts him right up there for the biggest fights possible. It's a massive confidence booster. For Michael Chandler, we've seen what a positive guy, even when things are going really bad, Chandler's always say at the top, and he's always the most positive man in the room. And to a point where I'm like, fuck me, mate. Like, can you tone it down a bit? Like, he didn't stick around for the final decision to be read out, and for him, I think this was a really humbling moment where he's looked at young Paddy, the baddie, and thinking, you've never fought anyone at my level. You're not on my level. And then Paddy went in there and didn't just like edge him on a victory where you can go, well, he's young. And you can make excuses. You can convince. There's no convincing himself of anything now. I don't want to see any see you at the tops from him or anything like that. This is the harsh reality of fighting, of you're getting older. The younger lads are bigger, stronger, faster, more technical than you, and you've just been fucking taken to school, mate. And the saddest bit is if he has deteriorated, right, which I think he probably has a bit, part of the reason for that has got to be the fact that he sat on the fucking couch for 2 years waiting for Conor McGregor to show up. And now, a word from our sponsors. If you're looking to book a holiday away in the sunshine this summer, then this could save you a lot of money. Saily is a brand new eSIM app. And what it does is it basically gives you a local SIM card that you can use when you're traveling, so you don't have to pay those crazy roaming fees just to send a text back home. And they've got eSIM plans in over 160 countries and 8 regions, so pretty much wherever you're going to be, they'll make sure you're connected. All you've got to do is click the link in the description, download the app, which works on iOS or Android, buy your plan, you can choose the amount of data and time that suits whatever you need best, and then install the eSIM on your phone. And when you land at your destination, you can activate your plan instantly. And the beauty about it is you only have to download this once, and whenever you go anywhere different, you can literally just buy a different plan for that destination, and boom, you're back watching me. And what I really liked about using this last time I went away to America is the eSIM was actually faster than the hotel Wi-Fi I had, and I got an unlimited plan that I could just scroll as much as I wanted, and I wasn't worrying about, am I using up too much data? So if you want to get connected when you're away, click the link in the description below, go to saley.com/Geordie and use the code Geordie, all block capitals, all one word, and you can get 15% off your first purchase. Big thanks to Saley for keeping us connected, but for now, enjoy the video. There's some bad decisions in fighting. We see Henry Cejudo deciding to retire when he was double champ. There's some bad decisions we've seen. That one might be the worst we've ever seen. He waited so long for McGregor. He wasted such valuable time. And when you're younger, you can get away with a bit of inactivity. When you're older, inactivity is the biggest killer of fighting careers. You've got to stay sharp, and he didn't do that. And ironically, with Paddy emerging as a star from this, him versus McGregor is now probably, if they were going to ever, I mean, look, I don't think the fucker's coming back, but if they were going to do a McGregor fight, Paddy McGregor is the biggest fight the UFC can make. It's not the best fight. The best fight is Aspinall versus Jones, but that would be the biggest. But I think McGregor should look at that. I know he bet on Chandler, and he should be thinking, fuck that. Like, if Chandler's been way more active than McGregor, and he is getting that kind of treatment, what the fuck do you think the boozer Conor McGregor is going to look like when he's all puffed up and he comes back bloated? His gas tank was shit to start with. Fuck knows how bad that would go. This is a lesson for McGregor. Stay on the fucking couch and promote your booze. Do you know what I mean? In terms of what's next for Paddy, I'd love to see a Justin Gaethje fight. I must admit. I think that would be the ultimate acid test of, are you really ready for a title shot? Because no one really comes away from a Justin Gaethje fight without getting hit, getting hurt. He's a horrible, horrible fighter. I think Paddy's ground game gives him an edge on most fighters. Maybe the one it doesn't is Islam Makhachev, the champ, right? And that's another one. I'd love to see them on the ground and see who's the better guy here, because Islam, he's a bit of a grandmaster, isn't he? And Paddy's nasty on the ground. So fuck knows, I think we'd expect Islam to be the more well-rounded guy, but I want to see a Brit fight for a title again as a massive underdog, the way Bisping and Dan Hardy did. I love it seeing that. Obviously, we've got Big Tom. He's king. There's no doubt in that, but that would be a great moment for us. On to Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez, the 10th straight title fight for Alexander Volkanovski. Legend of the fight game, man. He really reminds me of Randy Couture from back in the day. Some of you might have seen him. Just good at everything, hard as nails, and as old as he gets, it doesn't really seem to make that much of a difference. And the fact that he's the first man over the age of 35 to win a belt in the UFC, under welterweight that is, it really speaks volumes, because those weight classes, the lighter ones, they are about reflexes and speed. They are. And for him to overcome that, I think it's just testament to how special he is. And it's really funny because obviously the size of Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez, Lopez being the younger guy, the bigger guy, Volkanovski being the older, smaller guy, it was a mirror image in a way of the previous fight, Chandler versus Paddy. The difference was Volkanovski did everything that Michael Chandler's coaches wanted him to. He used the lateral movement, didn't stand at one place and one time for too long, kept Diego Lopez guessing. He controlled the pace of the fight, actually using his jab, even though he was a smaller guy. His jab is just so fucking good, man. Volkanovski, it's unbelievable. And I love how he sets it up, right? He moves side to side. He gets you following him. Come on, follow me, follow me. And just when he's almost in the middle of stepping, oh, boom, get out there, you little bastard. I fucking love it because it's the intelligence of it, right? Jabs, technically, a lot of the time, it's about your reach and your speed or whatever. It's the setup with Volkanovski because he doesn't have those other attributes. It's all up here with him. And he just lulled Diego Lopez into doing him what he wanted him to do. Yeah, follow me, mate. Don't cut the cage off. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Bang! Every fucking time. Volk did get caught this one time here, and he's standing on the spot, right? When his lateral movement stopped, he paid the price for it. But luckily for him, he recovered. And Lopez looked dangerous when they were in the pocket. Like, I think his shots actually got more of a reaction out of Volk than Volk's got out of Lopez. But he didn't didn't pull the trigger enough. He didn't risk it enough. The urgency, I have to go and do everything to beat this legend in front of me that we've seen when young guns come up and beat the champ, or he's not the defending champ, but he is a legend of that division. The state of mind just wasn't there for Diego Lopez to win this fight. And Volkanovski, when it did get nasty and he was in the pocket there, he just dogged it out, mate. He didn't give a fuck. But when Volk was at range, he should not have had any advantages because Lopez was the taller guy, but he didn't use his length the way Paddy the Baddy did. Those calf kicks that Paddy used, there wasn't anywhere near enough kicks. And also, Lopez didn't extend to like full extension of his punches. And he was doing this thing where he's like sort of shadow boxing as he's entering in with punches that are not going to do anything to Volkanovski. And you're thinking, what the fuck are you doing here, mate? You're not making yourself unpredictable. That's for damn sure. And punching at full extension and elongating your arm and making sure that you really used your full reach to its actual full potential, that's something that you should learn in year one of striking, really. I'm surprised he's still doing this in a world title fight. He made his punches shorter. It just made it easier for Volkanovski. I remember in round 4, Lopez catches Volkanovski with a nice uppercut, and you're thinking, fuck me, this again, a reaction. But he doesn't step on the gas, and you're just thinking, you just don't want this enough, mate. And Volkanovski does. He was just too content to play the game and not, he wasn't willing to risk it all in there in order, because that's what you've got to do to beat a Volkanovski. You've got to nail him to the fucking floor, mate. And he just didn't want it bad enough. And Volk just picked them apart in that final round where there was some debate of, could they give, 2 rounds to Lopez here? There was a bit of chat on the commentary. Volk just was like, fuck all this, I'm shutting up shop here. That's what champions do. He didn't give him an in. He picked them apart, got on his bike, bang, bang, on me bike. As much as I'd rather see him go in there and, brutally knock the guy out. That's what champions do. When you know it's not going to come for you and you've hit him with everything you've got, you don't lose the final round. And that's where the mental edge was with Volkanovski the whole fucking time. Multiple time world champion Volkanovski, Hall of Famer without a doubt, and a certified legend of the UFC. Big well done to him. Loved what he said in the post-fight interview where he said, adversity is a privilege. I like that a lot. I love the resilience he's shown. A lot of people thought he was fucking done when he got chinned a couple of times there. He's come back and showed he is the real fucking deal, and he deserves a special place in the UFC Hall of Fame for sure. I think you could easily make the argument he's the greatest featherweight of all time. You can have that debate in the comments. Let me know what you think, but he's definitely up there. So that's all I've got to say for UFC 314. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. How far can Paddy the Baddy go, and who do you want to see him fight next? Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the Pain Game YouTube channel. I'll see you on the next one.